Welcome back to Media Mesh, where I give you my unapologetic opinion on everything from music, movies, news, reality TV, and so much more as we go down the rabbit hole. And of course, this is the home for the intelligent dissection of social media. Today, we're going to talk about this very hot button topic. We have a brother who's a teacher, and the far and few that exists in the school systems, so I definitely want to make sure that we don't vilify this guy for doing something that some people may feel is inappropriate, but we're going to see his video in just a moment where he responds. So I do understand his perspective. Now, of course, in the society in which we live, people are always looking for a reason to criticize people. So I want to hear from you guys what you think. We're going to get into some comments as usual, as we do here at Media Mesh. Make sure you check out the channel, over 200 videos and going. But was this appropriate? Is this something you should do with your students? Could this possibly lead some of these younger ladies to have, develop feelings for the teacher? Is it uncommon for this type of activity to lead to more? So there's a saying, to the pure, all things are pure. But in this scenario, is he crossing the line? Is what I want to know from you guys in the comments. And we're going to get into the thoughts and opinions of other people. But first, we're going to listen to what he has to say. And before I get into that, real quick, I think there's nothing wrong with this to some degree. Now, what I have personally put myself in this position to be ridiculed, definitely not. So, but let's get into what he has to say and let's go from there.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. So of course I had to bring this issue to the big stage. I would like to represent myself in this case, Your Honor, if I may. Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out. I didn't have the time to do it all myself because it would have taken me forever. So naturally I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. Number two, this was at the end of class. This week we were doing STEM fair presentations. Since it was Friday and all of my students did an excellent job on their STEM fair projects and presentations, I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. A couple of these were students from my class, but others were students from other classes. I wrote all of them a pass at the beginning of the class period, requesting their assistance 10 minutes before dismissal. I told the teachers only send them if all of their work was completed and they had good behavior. They all met the criteria, so 10 minutes before dismissal, they showed up for their job. My next point I'd like to make is, if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. Because me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. It doesn't have to be weird. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them beyond the schoolwork and all the stuff that I have to make them do. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important. Some of these students have been with me since I was a substitute 4 years ago. They see me as a big brother or a father figure, as some of them say. And me, I don't want kids of my own, so all of these kids are literally my children. And in case you're wondering about their parents, most of them follow me on social media and always talk about my videos with their kids. They always tell me that they're so grateful that their kids have someone like me in their life. In my admin, they're well aware of my social media presence and they love my videos. To me, this is just another wholesome moment that I'm having with my kids that I was fortunate enough to catch on film. Since I'm a science teacher, one thing that I teach my students about is symbiosis. Symbiosis deals with the relationships between organisms. The type of relationship that I like to foster in my class is mutualism, or mutualistic relationship, which means both organisms benefit from the exchange. So when my students have good behavior, complete all their assignments, and do everything that a scholar is supposed to do, I reward them with downtime and just time to just be a kid, be on their phones, play games, gossip, so on and so forth. My students and I work hard and we play harder. I'm fortunate enough to have students that feel safe and comfortable around me, safe to come to me with their problems, their frustrations. They come to me seeking guidance and wisdom, or come to me simply to chill and hang out because they know that they have a safe space to be themselves around me. What I strive to do as an educator is be the teacher I wish I had grown up. I strive to be the teacher that makes my inner child happy, someone that my inner child will be proud of. I want to be the teacher that my students reflect back on 20, 30 years down the line and think like, dang, that teacher I had in middle school, he was the shit. No further questions, Your Honor. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. You think this was inappropriate, or people are making something out of nothing? And although you are entitled to your opinion, all I ask is that you be respectful. Thank you.
That was deep. That was extremely deep, but it does fully explain his rationale in his actions and what he was hoping to get across. So he did mention the mutualism concept, where I guess him and the students are on equal footing, which is definitely a break from the traditional norms that anyone who's over, I don't know, 30 years old will probably remember. But there was always that one cool teacher, and it appears that this is his purpose. You know, he wants to be that cool teacher that the kids can come to. And as he said, you know, be like a brother or a father figure. And I mean, let's be honest, I imagine there's a lot of children who don't have a father figure at home. And the fact that he doesn't want his own says something as well. So he can give his guidance and tutelage, if you will, to these children. But hey, perception is everything. You know, to me, it sounds genuine. But how the kids view it, that's going to be another thing. Is it good practice? I don't know. But at least he explains his perspective. Let's get into some comments real quick. One person says, this is definitely crossing the boundaries of professionalism. When I was a teacher, I didn't even talk to students one-on-one with my door closed. More importantly, I didn't even want them in my personal space because I didn't want nothing to be misconstrued. Adults need to be adults and stop acting like they're cool and friendly with children. There's nothing wrong with having a line that everyone respects. More importantly, as a grown-up, why are you filming this and putting it out there for everybody to see? Like you just told on yourself, and trust and believe after this video gets out there, a reprimand is probably all you should hope that you would get. Plus, based on the student handbook, did you have the parents' permission to put these kids out there like that? I'll wait for the update. So that's an interesting perspective as well. Is this professional? I definitely had no personal interactions with any of my teachers, but you know, as I said earlier, from a different time frame, it was you come in, you do your work, and you know, they say hi and bye, and that's about the extent of it. You know, you never really knew their personal lives, if they were married or had children, unless that was expressed to the whole class, but it was never a one-on-one type of an interaction in any of my days going back to school. So that's one person's opinion. I don't say that it's professional, but again, we're in a different generation. So you do have to reach out to these kids, I imagine, in a different way. The paradigm has shifted. I mean, the fact that he's getting these kids to learn, it's apparently a STEM school, which is great. He's teaching science, you know, I mean, because on the other hand, you have the teachers who have to deal with the kids, these badass kids that come to school, and it's disrespecting them. So he's trying to find I'm assuming, a happy medium in between, you know, the kids. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. I am curious to hear what you got to say. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe. Peace and blessings.